Hi, everyone. We're going to give it just a couple more minutes for everyone to get logged on, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Hi, everyone. Again, we're going to give it maybe a minute or two longer just to get everyone settled and logged in, and then we'll get started. Okay, so it looks like the numbers are kind of evening out, so we'll go ahead and get started. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome, everyone. My name is Emily Musumeci. I am the advisor for the MSDS on Coursera program, and I'll get us started today. And then we'll also moderate the Q&A at the end. So again, my name is Emily, and I'm joined by Darsh. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Darsh.
Hi, everybody. My name is Darsh. I am the program assistant at the online MSDS program.
Yeah, great. So yeah, we'll get started. I'm going to give you a little bit of orientation here in a second. So first, I'll say we are recording this webinar. We will share the recording link in a few days, so don't worry if you miss something. You won't need to take notes. Feel free to if you want to, but you will get a copy of this. And we will also share the slides as well. So let's see, looks like the chat is enabled. So now let's get familiar with the Zoom interface. If you hover your mouse over the bottom of your screen, you'll see a chat icon. Please click on the chat icon and type in where you're joining us from today. We always like to kind of see where everyone is. San Francisco, Seattle, Texas, Boston,
Argentina.
Wow. California. Wow, lots coming in. Montreal, Switzerland. Wow. Germany, Netherlands. Really exciting. Connecticut. Mexico City, very cool. Italy. Wow. Poland. Wow, we just have people from all over. Great. Thank you so much for sharing all that. Orlando. So cool. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and disable the chat function now. And then let's talk about the Q&A feature. So if you could, please refrain from asking any questions until the end of the presentation. We will hopefully most likely answer your questions during the presentation. And then after the presentation, we will go ahead and use that Q&A feature by hovering over your mouse towards the bottom of your screen and clicking on Q&A. And then let's move to the next slide here. So this is the agenda really quick. This webinar is going to give you an overview of the program and answer most of the top questions that we get. And then as previously mentioned, please refrain from asking any questions until the end. And then we will do the Q&A portion of the presentation. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Let's start with a little bit about CU Boulder, first of all. So CU Boulder is a world-class university with over 850 visiting international scholars. We're in the top 30 in the world in education based on educational quality, student training, faculty prestige, faculty research, according to the academic ranking of world universities. We also were recently ranked number 59 in best global universities by the US News and World Report. And we were founded in 1876. We are a tier 1 research one institution that proudly anchors one of the most entrepreneurial technology corridors in the US. Our faculty have launched over 140 new startups. Our researchers have filed for over 1,276 patents in the last 8 years. And there have been over 548 inventions delivered in the last 5 years. So pretty impressive. We also count 5 Nobel Prize winners, 5 National Medal of Science winners, and 51 Fulbright Fellows among our graduates. So next we'll talk about just kind of an overview of the MSDS on Coursera program and what makes it so revolutionary. So a traditional on-campus graduate program that you kind of might be more accustomed to is going to require a rigorous application process. But what if I told you that our program has no application, That would be correct. There's no GRE scores that we require, no TOEFL scores, no letters of recommendation, and no application fee. So really all you have to do is prove that you can do the work and you'll be admitted into our degree program regardless of your background. So as I kind of mentioned, you simply complete a series of 3 courses, which with a cumulative GPA of 3.0 or higher, which is a B average, and then you're automatically admitted into our program as a graduate student at CU Boulder. We don't have any formal prerequisites for the program, but we do highly recommend that you're familiar with Python, R, calculus, and linear algebra. And then once you're familiar with those things, you complete that series that I mentioned. We call this a pathway specialization, and there are 2 to choose from. So if you're stronger in computer science, we recommend the computer science pathway. If you're stronger in stats, we recommend the statistical inference for data science pathway. And if you're not sure, if you're ready to start, you can also preview courses in a non-credit version, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. So kind of continuing on with this program and what makes it unique, the next unique thing about this program is the courses. So again, like you might be accustomed to in a traditional program, each course is usually worth around 3 credit hours. However, in this program, courses are focused into much smaller chunks. Research does show that it's better to learn in kind of smaller chunks of information more frequently than trying to understand complicated ideas all at once. So each of our courses is only 1 credit hour. You can expect to spend about 5 to 8 hours per week on each class. This program is 30 credits total, and the 3 credits you earn from your pathway courses do count towards that, which is great. So once you've done the pathway courses, you've already done 10% of the program. And then even though our courses are shorter, the program still covers the same rigorous content as an on-campus degree. You can expect to gain technical competency in many areas of data science, including stats, data mining, big data architecture, and machine learning. And then you have an opportunity to apply those skills in the electives. So kind of to sum everything up, Coursera uses mastery learning, which ensures that you understand important concepts from one lesson before moving on to the next. The scientifically proven way of teaching ensures you actually understand the basic concepts before moving on to something that's more complicated or complex. So more about what makes this program unique. In a traditional program, there are normally 3 semesters, including summer, so spring, summer, fall, and each one of those is usually about 16 weeks long. However, our program has 6 sessions per year, and each one is 8 weeks long. So you kind of have 2 per semester that you might be used to. So most students take 3 classes per session, and typically don't need all 8 weeks to complete a course. Oftentimes it usually only takes students 4 to 6 weeks to complete a course. However, this program is self-paced, so you can go a little bit faster if you want, or you can go, you can take the full 8 weeks, or if you needed a break, you can also skip a session or 2 without needing to let us know. You simply have to complete 30 credits within 8 years once you've started the courses. Okay, so let's talk again about what makes this program unique in terms of the financial aspect. So traditionally, you pay for the entire semester all at once. That means you have kind of a big bill up front, but our program allows you to kind of pay as you go. So, and also as of January 2023, we're excited to announce that we lowered our tuition. It's only $525 per credit hour. So you pay per credit hour, not per semester, which allows you more financial flexibility. And we also offer more payment options. You can pay online with a few different things. You can do a US checking or savings account with no fee. You can also do a credit or debit card. There is a 2.75% service fee. Just be aware of that if you do that option. You can also do a wire transfer via Flyware. And we do have more information on our finances page, which we can put in the chat in a little bit. You don't get access to the course until we receive your payment. So it really is important to, pay the course if you want the 4 credit version, complete all the onboarding steps shortly after you have enrolled, just so that you can get access to the course and make sure you have enough time to finish before the end of the session. Let's see. Okay, so more about what makes this program unique. What do MSDS on Coursera students receive? So that's a common question that we get. So students in this program receive the same diploma. Students earn the same credentials as our on-campus students. There is no way in which we designate anything that says that this was an online program on the transcript or anything else that you'll see. You will have earned a accredited Master of Science in Data Science, and you're invited to attend commencement on campus at CU Boulder during your graduation. It's not required, but we definitely welcome students that want to participate in that. Let's see, you also have access to career services. So students admitted into the degree program receive those services as well as lifelong access to Handshake from CU Boulder. Handshake, if you haven't heard of it, is an online tool where you can network with fellow alumni. You can find job posts from employers that post on there. And then they also have events virtually. And then you also get resume services from Quincia. And then after you graduate from this program, you'll join the Forever Buffs Alumni Association. Kind of talking about policies for a second. So CU Boulder graduate school policies also apply to the MSDS on Coursera program as well. So these policies cover things like course repetition, grade replacement, academic standing, and so on. And then in terms of student opportunities, while the program is offered completely online, there are opportunities to connect with peers. We have a student Slack channel. You can meet classmates and talk about the courses and your experiences and things like that. We also have the Data Science Student Association, we call it DASA. It's a group of students in both the residential program, so the on-campus program, and then the MSDS online program. They've done things in the past, such as like a hackathon. They've done virtual movie nights. They have networking events. And then once again, you can attend graduation if you would like at the end. But basically overall, by reducing the time commitment and the number of credit hours per course, students can earn the same rigorous degree without the intense 16-week commitment that traditional programs require. So this really gives you more flexibility in terms of your time and your finances as well. So this program really might be attractive to working professionals who may not be able to commit to such a heavy course load for months at a time. So let's see. So you're, kind of getting into more of the weeds here. You're probably wondering how this all works. So all of the courses that we have are online on Coursera. It's a platform that we use. If you kind of just wanted to start out first without paying tuition, you can start out with our non-credit classes on Coursera. So using a monthly subscription to Coursera, you can watch videos, read the readings, you can complete labs and assignments in the courses. And then if you would want to earn credit from CU Boulder, you do have to upgrade by paying tuition from the non-credit to the for-credit version. To do this, you simply fill out our enrollment form online and pay the tuition like we mentioned. And then new students are required to do those onboarding steps that I mentioned. There's maybe a handful of steps that you have to complete. They're pretty self-explanatory, but you do have to complete those in order to get access. One of those steps is including an onboarding course. So that normally takes a couple hours to complete. It does not affect your GPA. It's not listed on your transcript or anything. It kind of covers the program details and how to use the Coursera platform and talks a little bit about CU Boulder policies. And then once you've done that onboarding course, you do get access to the for-credit course, which includes the final exam or project that allows you to earn the CU Boulder credit. So, and then also, if you do upgrade to the for-credit version, students that do that will get access to additional services, including a CU email address. You actually get access to the online libraries that we offer and career services as well, if you're admitted. So you also have access to weekly office hours with course facilitators. And then there's also an email that is dedicated to these students that upgrade so that you can get any questions that you have about the program answered. So yeah, you can start with non-credit or jump right into the for-credit, whatever is best for you. If you're not sure if you're ready for the for-credit, we encourage you to enroll in the non-credit first. This really allows you to determine if the online format is going to work for you. And it also gives you the ability to practice the skills that you need in order to complete the assignments. And then you do earn, as a non-credit student, so before you've upgraded, you do earn a course completion certificate and specialization completion certificates from Coursera. So that's at least a small feather in your cap. It does not imply conferral of credit from CU Boulder. and they don't appear on a CU Boulder transcript. That wouldn't happen unless you upgraded and finished the 4-credit version. You really can pay the CU Boulder tuition at any time to the 4-credit during any of our enrollment windows. Anything that you've previously completed in the non-credit will automatically carry over into your 4-credit experience. Usually you just have a final exam or project to complete once you upgrade, or if you haven't finished all the rest of the non-credit content, you'll have to finish that as well. And then if you do upgrade, you do not have to pay the Coursera monthly subscription. That's kind of a nice perk of upgrading. You won't be paying two of those. You'll just be paying the tuition for CU Boulder. Please note, though, however, depending on when you would upgrade, if you do, let's say that you start in the non-credit course and then upgrade to the 4-credit course in the same month, you wouldn't receive a Coursera subscription refund, just because it's within the same month, but then moving forward, you would not have to pay that subscription fee. So now I'm going to pass it over to Darsh, who's going to talk about some learner journey possibilities.
Thanks, Emily. So yeah, as Emily mentioned, we'll be talking about some learner journeys that most of our students kind of usually do take towards completing the Masters of Science in Data Science. So most students in our program are like Muhammad here. These students start by completing 3 pathway courses. Remember, you need to earn an average of B or better in those 3 pathway courses. So you can choose either from our data structures and algorithms pathway or the statistical inference pathway. Once you have completed the courses from either of these pathways with an average of B or better, you will be automatically admitted to the program. The 3 credits that you already earned count towards your degree. So you only need 27 more credits to graduate. The courses are designed to be flexible, so you can complete them in any order. You need to take 21 core courses and 9 electives. There are 6 sessions per year, and most students take around 3 courses per term. The reason why is this is kind of equivalent to a full-time graduate level study. If you follow the typical learner journey like Muhammad here, you'll complete all 30 credits in about 2 years. And you learn the same diploma as an on-campus student, as Emily mentioned, without any signs that you have done an online degree or anything. But as we mentioned, that this program is meant to be very flexible. So some students may need a little more time, like Ryan here. Ryan isn't sure whether he's ready for the program just yet. So he starts in a non-credit course. After he feels confident, he pays tuition and upgrades to the 4-credit version of his course. And the work that he has already completed in the non-credit automatically gets transferred when he upgrades to 4-credit. So Ryan kind of has a busy schedule. So he takes fewer classes each session. He even takes a break from the program completely for a few sessions when he's especially busy at his job. So if you take this kind of extended learner journey, it will take longer than 2 years for you to complete the program. But just remember that you still must complete all the requirements for the program within 8 years from the time that you have been admitted into the program. On the other hand, you may want to complete the degree even faster. So Linda here wants to earn her master's in data science as soon as possible. So she takes around 4 to 5 courses each session, a little more than the 3 courses that usually students take. And at this pace, you could actually complete the degree in as little as 1 year itself. So you can kind of choose the pace that is completely right for you. Either you want to go quicker, you want to take a little bit more time because of other commitments, or you want to finish it very quicker as well, or you want to do it in the normal term. It's very flexible as per what you want to choose and how you want to proceed with your degree. So this is a list of kind of the courses that you do study in the degree. You can also find this on our website under our curriculums page. Notice that the topics with asterisks are actually what we call as specializations. Specializations are a series of 1-credit courses that are linked together to cover a topic in depth. Most specializations have around 3 courses. The goal topics are pathway specializations. So you will most likely start with one of these subject areas. As again, our pathway courses are the ones that you'd want to do to be admitted into the program. Now let's go over some most common questions that we kind of see from our students actually. Is the MSDS on Coursera an accredited program? Yes, the MSDS on Coursera is a fully accredited program by the Higher Learning Commission. Remember, you also get the same diploma as our on-campus students. There is no mark or no saying that this is an online program or anything. It will be the exact same diploma. So what if you do not have a STEM background? Now, the good thing is that we have several courses that are available in non-credit to prepare the students for pathway courses. These are what we kind of call as introductory or prerequisite courses. So you can try out a couple of non-credit courses to brush up your math skills, to kind of get yourself introduced to R and Python and things like that, because we do kind of use these programming languages a lot throughout the course actually. So it's very important that if you feel that you're not comfortable with these topics, it's very important that you kind of get the brush up and you kind of get a good revision of them before you dive into doing the pathway courses as well. So we have quite a few courses, and you can find these links to the courses on our admissions page on our website as well. Another question that we commonly get is, can I transfer credits into the MSDS? So note that you cannot transfer credits from another university or a campus to this program. However, the MSDS on Coursera students may take up to 6 credits of outside electives from other CU Boulder on Coursera programs, including the Masters of Engineering in Engineering Management program and the Masters of Science in Computer Science program on Coursera as well. So we don't accept credits from other universities, but you can take 6 credits of outside electives from other online programs that are offered at CU as well. Is there financing? This program is currently not eligible for US federal financial aid, and we don't have scholarships at this time. However, we've been greatly able to reduce our tuition rate. We were able to reduce the cost of tuition from $20,000 all the way to $15,750 actually. You may look into getting private loans if that's a good fit for you, but employers definitely value the skills that we teach. So it will be a good idea that so sometimes we also recommend that you may first ask your employers that if they are willing to offer tuition reimbursement for this program as well. Do I need a student visa? Because this program is fully online, there is actually no need for a student visa. CU Boulder doesn't issue I-20 forms, and students will not get the student visas for the program. This means that you won't be eligible for the F1 visa benefits that come, like curriculum practical training and optional practical training, as part of this program, because the program is completely fully online. And another question that we get as well, do I need to purchase any textbooks? So thankfully, no. Any material you need from the course will be available, everything in the course material that is provided on Coursera itself. You will not need to purchase any textbooks or any additional materials for the class. One of the requirements that we kind of have is that you would require a laptop that can do kind of programming and things like that. Because obviously, as data scientists, you would be kind of doing a lot of programming and developing models and things like that. So you definitely want a laptop that has a little bit of a higher RAM and a good processor to be able to do those computations easily. But even if not, there are multiple online sources out there, online platforms like Google Colab, where you can actually run your code that is not being run locally on your machine, but is being run on a cloud environment. So you can compensate for that as well. But a laptop is kind of like a requirement. Definitely a good laptop is a requirement for the course. If you have questions about the content in your courses, we strongly encourage you to use the best resources, that is your fellow students. Get to know them through discussion forums and brainstorm together when you get stuck. When you help your classmates, you not only strengthen your own knowledge, but you also develop your own professional network. You can also join your course facilitators office hours if you are in the 4-credit version of the course. There you can connect with the course facilitators and ask questions about the material that is being covered in your 4-credit class. So we highly recommend reaching out to your fellow peers and asking them questions, because it's just fosters that community of data scientists and fosters that environment of learning together. But we also have course facilitators. If you have very specific questions to your courses and you'd want some more help, they're always there with your office hours, that weekly office hours that they hold, where you can go there and ask questions that you have. And again, as we are doing a master's program, definitely there are questions about what are the career outcomes from this program. So CU Boulder graduates have gone on to work at amazing companies out there. We also They have gone to work in companies like Amazon, Apple, Boeing, Disney, IBM, Lockheed, Microsoft, Google, many companies that are there, YouTube as well as a couple of them. Just to keep in mind, the median salary that data scientists get in the US is over $100,000, according to the US Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's almost double the average median salary in the United States, actually. So a good thing about a program is that graduates have gone on to work in amazing fields and amazing companies. And some of our graduates have also been able to get career promotions and have been able to change fields that they wanted to when they were starting the program as well. So now that you know about the program, I'm sure you're wondering, when can you get started? So choose one. Like enrollment, so for enrollment has just opened, and enrollment is open right now, and classes for the fall 1 session, they start from August 28th. You can simply go to our website or the degree page on Coursera to find the enroll now button and get started. Again, there's no cap on enrollment, so we don't have a set limit that we are going to take only a couple of students, and the tuition is due when you enroll. After you enroll, as Emily mentioned, you'll need to take some steps before you can access the for-credit content. You'll activate your CU student account. You'll set up your CU email. You'll link your CU and Coursera accounts. And also you have to complete the 3-hour non-credit onboarding course that there is. If you're not sure whether you're ready for the program yet, you can start a non-credit course today. Then you can pay tuition and upgrade at any time after you're ready to get started. Once again, we recommend students to kind of start in the non-credit, so get the feel and the rigor for the courses. And once they feel comfortable, they can then upgrade to the for credit at any period, during any enrollment windows that we have open in the future as well. Thank you.
Okay, cool. Thanks, Darsh. So yeah, now we're going to, I will stop sharing the screen here, and then we'll just move over to the question and answer portion of the video. So if you, let's see, if you can scroll down to the Q&A, and then you can just put any questions that we did not answer, or if you need clarification on anything, we're happy to answer those. So let me stop sharing. And then, okay, I see some Q&As coming in. So we'll kind of just pass them back and forth and see how many we can get answered. Let's see. Okay, so the first question that I see here, if I want to take a course for non-credit, do I need to pay for a Coursera subscription? So yes. So if you wanted to start off in that non-credit just to kind of see what you're in for, kind of see if the content is familiar to you, or just kind of get a sense of what the curriculum is, and just work towards the course as well. Because remember, if you work on anything in the non-credit, it will carry over if you do upgrade. You do need that Coursera subscription to start. So however, if you do decide to upgrade at any point, you wouldn't be needing to pay for the Coursera subscription. So just keep that in mind. And then also kind of one of the perks of becoming a CU Boulder student is that you get access to the, it's called CU on Coursera. So you get access to non-credit courses as a CU Boulder student without having to pay that subscription. So definitely some options there. Good question.
Another question that you got on is, what kind of degree certificate will be offered if I complete the program? Is it from Coursera or university? So the degree that you get is going to be from the University of Colorado Boulder. It won't be from Coursera. It's going to be, as you mentioned, it's going to be a same master's degree that our on-campus students get. So there won't be any mention that it's an online program or anything like that. It will clearly say you graduated with a Master's of Science in Data Science from CU Boulder. It's not from Coursera. However, as Emily mentioned, if you do finish the non-credit courses, you definitely get a certificate of completion, which acts as a good kind of thing on your resume as well, that you have completed these courses.
And then that question actually reminds me of a question that I don't think we covered in the webinar slides. So CU Boulder students in this program, let's say that you're working towards earning the full degree, you actually are going to automatically earn a data science certificate. It's kind of a stackable credential. It's just kind of a smaller portion of the degree that you automatically earn while you're working your way towards the rest of the degree. So it's kind of, you finish 12 credits of the degree, you get, the curriculum is listed on our certificate page, which I can put in the chat, but you meet those certificate requirements, you get that certificate, and then you can kind of work on the rest of the degree. Or you can also just do the certificate by itself. So, if you felt like, for whatever reason, if the degree was not totally what you wanted to pursue, you can simply just also pursue just a certificate of those 12 credits.
Another question that we have is, can we take the 3 pathway classes at the same time, or do they have to be done one after the other? That is completely your choice. If you'd want to take one course after another for each session, you could do that as well. But if you feel you're confident in finishing all the 3 courses in the same session, go for it. As we mentioned, the program is extremely flexible. So you can take all the 3 pathway classes in one session as well, or you can split them up into 3 different sessions as well, based on whatever your flexibility is.
Yeah, for sure. And just to add on to that, I would say generally, just based on our current students' experiences, students generally do better if they start with just one of the pathway courses in that first session that you choose, and then deciding what you want to do from there on. If you want to do the rest of the 2 pathway courses, or if you just want to do them one at a time within their own sessions, definitely lots of options there. Let's see. Scrolling through the questions here. So is there career guidance? So yeah, as we mentioned, students get access to career services at CU Boulder. So I would say you want to kind of wait until you're an admitted student before you're using most of their resources. But like we mentioned, they do have what's called Handshake. They have the Handshake is kind of like a job board of sorts. You can network in there. They do have virtual events. There's a graduate advisor that works over in career services for our students. And they also have just general virtual events as well at the career services center. So yeah, we're also working on like a career week coming up. So we definitely really try to do a good job of providing career guidance and career support. Let's see, here's another question. Oh, I think I lost it. Are all classes available every term? So yes, so if you go onto our enrollment form, you can find it on our, really a lot of our web pages. And once again, I'll put some of the links in the chat in a second. But if you go to the enrollment form, the courses that are available each session are going to be listed on that enrollment form. All of the core courses and current electives that we have available are always going to be on that enrollment form. Really, the only thing that might change is if we would add courses, like add elective options. Those might be kind of added on to that enrollment form once they're part of our curriculum. So yes, you can take any of our classes every term as long as they are currently available.
Another question that's been asked is it possible to convert from an online to an on-campus program? Unfortunately not. Once it's not possible to transfer from an online program to a residential program, that is because of all the policies about visa regulations and things like that. So it's not possible to transfer from an online to a residential program. When do spring semesters start? So we currently will be posting the spring 25 calendars on our website very soon. So you'll be able to take a look at those as well. At the moment, our fall session is currently going. The enrollment is open for the fall session. So you can take a look at that. But after the fall sessions are done, the spring sessions will begin from January onwards, or the enrollment for them will begin very soon as well. So keep a look on our calendar pages to keep a track of what different sessions are coming on. And as kind of a simple thing, we have spring sessions, then we have summer sessions, and then we have fall sessions, and then the cycle kind of goes on again as well, actually.
Yeah. And then I'm just putting some links in the chat. I did put the, let's see, I put the admissions page in the chat so you can kind of make sure that you're aware of our admissions criteria. Again, just completing that pathway, one of the pathways that you choose that does count towards the degree. Another kind of note on that is that let's say that you choose the stats pathway and then you're admitted, you do eventually have to complete the computer science pathway. So just know that both pathways are required. It's just that you choose one to be admitted. And then also I did put the finances page in the chat as well. And then the current students page, there's that nice sidebar on the right-hand side of each of those pages. That's how you can easily navigate to all of our pages. But the current students page is going to be what you want to look at to start the program, to enroll. And then those steps that we've mentioned, those onboarding steps are all going to be nicely listed out on that page. Let's let's see. Oh, let's see. Oh, I think I only put the links for the hosts. I will repost them for everyone. Sorry about that. And then also just really quick, I noticed that a lot of questions are coming into the chat. If you can put the questions that you have in the FAQ, that's what we're looking at for the questions that we're answering. That would be great.
Go ahead, Emily.
Go ahead. Just trying to get that last link.
I was just going to say, like, yes, it is possible to take 3 classes in a term, and it is quite common, as those 3 classes kind of represent or are equivalent of full-time graduate course load that would be on an on-campus program. So it is definitely possible. It's just we recommend that if you feel like you might not be able to keep up with the timings and with the rigor of the courses, you would better to split them up into different sessions. But if you feel like you can, then you're more than welcome to take 3 classes in one single session as well. Do we need any prior knowledge in maths or statistics? Yes, you do require certain amount of background in maths. But if you don't have that, you can definitely try out our prerequisite courses that are available on the website as well. Those courses will take you to the basics of maths and linear algebra that is kind of required to be successful in the courses as well. Don't worry that it's not like the courses start with extreme difficulty. They gradually build up, but it's always good to have that prior knowledge before you start the courses as well, so you won't feel overwhelmed when you take the 4 credit courses.
Let's see. Okay. There were a couple questions that I was going to answer. So is there a gap time between sessions? So I think I just put the calendar page in the chat. Usually there's maybe a couple days between sessions, but they do generally run pretty back to back. So that's kind of one nice thing, is that if you, let's say that you feel like you're not ready to quite finish out a class in this current session, the next one starts pretty shortly after the current session ends. So there's really not a whole lot of time that you gotta have to wait. And as you can see on our calendar page too, there's going to be some overlap between when you can enroll. So the enrollment opens 2 weeks before the session starts, and then it actually goes through until 2 weeks before the end of the session. So, just because the session has started doesn't mean you can't join. You just really want to make sure that you give yourself enough time during that session to make sure you can finish the class before the session ends. All the dates listed on our calendar pages are very hard deadlines. You really have to follow those in order to make sure that you're on track with the class and the program. So again, if you don't feel like you can make those deadlines quite yet, you can always start in the non-credit. And then let's see, is there a recommended order in which to take courses? So good question. We have a few different tools that can help you figure out how you want to complete the degree. The first couple things you can look at, they're going to be on our they're going to be on our curriculum page. Let me put that in the chat as well. The curriculum page is going to have what we call learner journeys. So depending on which pathway you start with, either the stats or computer science, it's going to show you that pathway, the vital skills courses that you need, and then all the rest of the classes that are core, and then you have 9 electives. So you can potentially, if you wanted to, you could actually use that as an order, but generally I tell students it's more of just a way that the degree is made up. And we do recommend, however, that you really can go in whatever order you want. So if you wanted to follow that, you can, or if you wanted to go in kind of your own order, that's totally fine. We do just recommend that within each specialization or box that's listed on there, that you go in order, because they do build on one another. So like, for example, the stats pathway, you want to do that first one first, and then the next one, and then the third. So, and then we also have on our current students page under, there's a program resources section. We do have some PDFs that give you kind of a sample of how you can complete the degree, and those are based on what previous and current students have recommended. So, and that's a suggested 2.5-year plan. And lastly, as your advisor, I'm also happy to help with degree planning. There's an Excel kind of spreadsheet that we can use to kind of plan your degree. So really lots of options for how this degree can be completed.
One of the questions is, can I enroll for the summer 2 session? Yes, you can. The enrollment for our summer 2 session closes tomorrow at 9 a.m. It closes at it closes tomorrow at 5 p.m. Mountain Time. So you can enroll for the summer 2 session today and till tomorrow 5 p.m. Mountain Time. But just keep in mind that if you enroll today or tomorrow, the course does end on August 23rd as well. So you'd have to follow those deadlines.
Okay, and then I just saw a question in the chat. Yeah, please be putting your questions in the Q&A. So there's one, will the ultimate degree be designated as online or will it be indistinguishable from the on-campus? Yeah, we do not designate in any way that it's an online degree. So you'll be getting the same as if you would take the degree on campus or the residential version. Good question. There's another question here. Who can answer my question if it's not answered here? We do have a prospective student email, so it's different than what you would get if you had enrolled as a current student by paying that tuition and upgrading. So if you're a prospective student and you have questions about the program and onboarding and all that, you'll reach out to CU Boulder-MSDS@Coursera.org. And then once you enroll in our program, then you'll get a separate email.
Another question that's asked, if I enroll for a course in the current session and due to over full-time work, if you couldn't complete on time, will the course be carried over to the next session and do we need to pay again? So there are a couple of things over here. If you enroll and you are within a 14-day period from your enrollment, you can drop out from the course and get a full refund. Unfortunately, the courses do not get carried over to the next session, so you would have to enroll again and pay the tuition for that course. If you are outside that 14-day window and you'd still like to, and you do not want to continue with the course, you would have to withdraw out from the course. And unfortunately, you won't be able to get the refund for that. But you can definitely again enroll for the course again in the next session and then pay the tuition. So we do not carry over the course content, but again, you can drop out within the 14-day period and get a full refund.
Okay, and yes, we'll do our very best to answer as many questions as we can in the Q&A. There are a couple questions about continuing your education after getting this master's degree. So we do have many students that are interested in going on to a PhD program after this program. And we generally tell students this program isn't really specifically designed for that. We don't have research opportunities. And it's just really, it's considered a professional degree, so it's not really designed for going on to your PhD. However, that being said, we have had multiple students go on to be part of PhD programs after doing this program. So it's definitely not impossible, but we just want to kind of preface everything by saying it's not specifically designed to, and you really would want to look at the PhD program that you're interested in. You'll want to look at what they require and recommend for their admission. So. And then let's see, there was another question that I tagged here. Did we say office hours are only available during fall and spring? No, they're actually going to be available as long as you've upgraded to the 4-credit versions of any course. You will have office hours with your course facilitator. Typically, they host them twice a week and they try to vary the time so that they can get everyone's availability based on varying time zones and things like that. So you should have those twice a week if you're in a 4-credit version. Okay, information about peer graded assignments and proctored exams. So yeah, this program, these courses do feature a mix of peer grading and ProctorU exams. So just be aware that if you do take any of the stats courses, and then there's some, I believe the data mining courses, 2 of those courses have proctoring. We use a service called ProctorU, so you do have to make an account with that service, and there's plenty of instructions on our website and in the course itself. So you'll get all of that, so no need to worry about that. But you do have to schedule a proctored exam for those specific classes that require it, and then take your exam before the deadline. We do recommend that you schedule your exam as early as you can, just in case there's an issue and you need to reschedule for some reason. We don't want you to be doing that at the last minute, just to avoid any problems. But yeah, you do have to do some of the classes with the proctoring exams. It's only for that final exam though. There's no other proctoring outside of that final for those courses. And then, yeah, we do have peer grading assignments. So you'll be responsible for grading some of your peers and vice versa. see. Okay, so if I do the data science graduate certificate first and later want to complete the full MS-DS degree, yeah, basically you could definitely do that. You can just work on the certificate first, and then later on, you would need to just enroll in the remaining courses that are required in the degree, and then you can earn the degree. You would have to finish both within the 8 years since starting. So if you started that certificate, you would want to make sure to finish the degree within the 8 years of starting that.
There's a question which says, after completion, are online students invited to graduate at the university as well? Yes, we do host a graduation ceremony where we confer the degrees to both our online and the residential students as well. So you are more than welcome to actually come to the US or come to Colorado as well to attend the graduation ceremony. The graduation information will be posted on our website as well.
Okay. So if I take a non-credit course first, do I need to take it again if I can convert to credit? Good question. You do not have to kind of restart. The progress that you make in a non-credit version will carry over with you into that for-credit version when you upgrade. The only thing that's not going to carry over is anything that's interactive. So like the discussion boards won't carry over. And we do highly recommend that you save any work that you've done from your non-credit course off platform, just in case something would happen. It doesn't often happen, but just in case you would have to submit something, you have that work with you that you don't have to do over again. I had another one here. What happens if I enroll from audit to credit midway? So sometimes we use the word audit. It's kind of interchangeable with non-credit. We typically say non-credit. So what happens if I enroll in non-credit midway into the class, or I think even into the session? So let's say that you are in a non-credit course and then midway through the session on our calendar page, you decide to upgrade. Just know that you're really only going to have the remainder of that session, those dates that are listed on our calendar page. You really only have those remaining weeks, or however long it is. Yeah, it would be at least 2 weeks to finish that for-credit course. So just really be mindful of when you're upgrading. I would suggest upgrading at the start of a session, but if you do need to enroll later on, just be sure that you have enough time to finish the course.
There's another question which says, if I'm coming from a non-STEM background, are the pathway courses for math and Python different to the pathway courses for admission? I think the courses for math and Python are what we call as expressway courses. They are kind of like the introductory courses for you to just brush up and kind of get a feel on what Python and feel of what Python is, and also learn and refresh your concepts on maths. The pathway courses are a little bit different in the way that they cover more broader topics into statistics and computer science, like data structures and algorithms and things like that. So the expressway courses of math and Python are definitely different to the pathway courses that are required for admission. The other question is, if I was to do the degree over 8 years, how much would I pay now upfront, and how many courses would I do per year? So as the program is very flexible, you pay as you go. So if you are only interested in taking one course right now for a session, you only pay $525 for it. If you're interested in taking 2 courses, then you pay the amount of 525 times 2. So it's dependent on as many courses that you're taking. Each session is what you're going to be paying. So there's no upfront amount as such that you would have to pay. It's just how many courses you want to take. That's the amount you pay.
Okay, let's see. I had a question about more information about proctoring. I did just put the ProctorU link in the chat. So if you want to look there more, there is a nice video of kind of what to expect in a proctored exam that I always encourage students to watch just to get an idea. There was another question in here. You weren't able to attend the full webinar. Yes, we will. We have been recording this, and there will be a link that you can access afterwards. You should get an email, but if you don't, just reach out to us and we'll make sure you get that. There's another question. Can you attempt to be magna cum laude from this program? So those types of designations for graduation, like, graduating with honors with a certain GPA, things like that, those are really only for undergraduate programs at CU Boulder. So you would not be able to do that in this program, but good question. Let's see. So this question says, can I get admitted into the program, complete 3 pathway courses, and then double up on classes in the last session or the last session of the year? So really the way that you're going to get admitted into the program is by completing those first 3 pathway courses. So again, you have to pick one of the 2 pathways, the computer science or the stats, finish those with a 3.0 GPA or higher, and then you have to meet the other criteria that are on our admissions page. Once you've met those criteria, you're automatically admitted. And then yes, if you wanted to, if you felt like you could handle that coursework, you could double up on classes in that last session of the year. Does the non-credit cost? Yeah, so if the non-credit, you do have to pay the Coursera subscription. Unless you are a CU Boulder student that you've already enrolled in one of our 4 credit courses, then you can access the non-credit without having to pay that subscription. Let's see.
There's a question which is there a final year project for graduation? There isn't as such a final year like overarching project for the graduation, but there are certain courses that do have a final project. There are courses that have a final exam as well. So it's all dependent on course to course, where some courses will have a final project and some course will have a final exam or things like that. But there isn't like an overarching final year project that you need to finish to be able to graduate. It's just you need to be able to do the projects and exams for each specific course.
And then there are some questions about graduate student placement rates in here. So unfortunately, we don't have like specific numbers for this presentation. However, if you go to our current students page near the bottom of that page, we do have information about some of the companies and roles that some of our graduates have gone on to earn. And we're hoping to get more data about that in the future, specifically, like the placement rates and just more of a rich collection of information about our graduates. This is a fairly new program, so we're still kind of collecting data on demographic information. So hopefully more to post soon. There's a question specifically about the pathways here. I'll put the admissions. The admission page shows you the criteria that you need to meet to be admitted, and it also lists out those 2 pathways. Then you can also go to our curriculum page and download either of those learner journeys. Those are going to show you the pathways that are required depending on which one you start with, and then the remaining requirements of the degree.
Emily, there are certain questions which ask about like how is the grading kind of determined when students move from non-credit to for credit? Could you answer that?
Yeah. So if you work on any portion of the non-credit course, like we mentioned, all that work should carry over with you. So you really shouldn't encounter needing to redo any type of work, unless it's like that interactive work that we mentioned before. Those aren't going to carry over, but anything else that you've received a grade for should carry over with you, so you don't have to redo that. Good questions. We have about 5 minutes left, so we'll see what other questions we can wrap up with. But again, if we did not get to your question, you can reach out to that CU Boulder-MSDS- at Coursera.org email that's in the chat. I'll post it again so it's fresh, and then reach out to that email and they can get your questions answered that way. Some good questions in here. Yeah, so there's about 30 questions that we have not been able to answer yet. So definitely email us if we did not get to your question.
I've been trying to answer all on chat as well, but like people have been asking, like, these are great questions. We've been getting a lot of questions. So
yeah, really good questions. There's one here about completing the MSDS program. If you complete that program, are you allowed to return and take the MSCS program, the computer science program that was just launched? Unfortunately, it's not possible to earn both degrees, and that's simply because there's so much overlap between our programs that the graduate school has a policy where credits cannot be counted towards two credentials at the same level. So it is possible to do, for example, like the MSDS degree, and then there's like a computer science certificate that was just launched, the AI certificate. It is possible to do that one. And same with, you could do like the engineering management certificate along with this degree, but it's not possible to do the MSDS and the MSCS. A good question. Let's see if we can find one more to answer.
There's a student asking, is 3.0 GPA required on the pathway courses to be eligible to be admitted to the program? And if so, does that mean I need to do the 4-credit version of the pathway courses? Yes, that's correct. To be admitted into the program, you do need an average of 3.2 or above in the pathway courses. It is either you take the CS pathway courses or the stats pathway courses. You cannot mix and match, meaning like you can't do 2 courses from CS and 1 course from stats. It has to be that you do all the courses from the CS pathway. So you definitely have to do them in the 4-credit version.
Yeah, good question. And you also have to have a C or higher grade in those pathway courses. So to give you that 3.0 GPA.
I'd like to, I don't know if you'll have time for another one, but we've gotten questions about like graduates from the program and how they're fared in the job market. We are currently, as Emily mentioned, in the process of getting that data as well. But based on what information that we have right now, all of our graduates have kind of gotten jobs across the industry. And there are many graduates who have actually kind of advanced in their career. So they were working full time, but have now actually, I think the metric is around 33% of our graduates have been able to get a promotion after pursuing this degree as well. And about 25% of our graduates have been able to actually switch a career and make a career change that they were intended to do from the start as well. And as we mentioned in our presentation, students have gone on to work in incredible companies out there like Boeing, Google, Microsoft, YouTube, Splunk, Spotify, and many other companies out there as well, Amazon as well. So we are in the process of creating a page that will show all the data for our graduates as well as we keep collecting more and more information as students keep graduating.
Yeah. And then there was a question about how to start in the non-credit. So just in case you want to get started in the non-credit, you simply would just go to the Coursera website and then search for our courses and then enroll that way. I also think it's easier to start from our curriculum page. That's one way you could do it as well, is go to our curriculum page, which I'll post again. And then just you'll just want to find the course that you want. And then on most curriculum pages for each course, there's a link to Coursera. You can view the course on Coursera. So that's how you can find it a little bit easier. And we are out of time. So yeah, I noticed there's a lot of questions that we haven't answered, so please reach out to us and we'll see if we can get those answered. But thank you again, everyone, for joining. It was great, and we hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Take care.